Dreamers everywhere. Welcome to the Dueling Disney Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Andee Zilmerman.
I'm the other one of your hosts, Aldee. Sorry, I was looking around because it seems surprisingly dark here, but I forget it's November and it's overcast outside, so I'm not getting the normal sunlight through the
We
slats
have
of the
a
window.
surprisingly bright day. You can see I had to shut the curtains in the background, and the sun is trying to break through. It's only
Climate change. It's cloudy in California and sunny in Portland, Oregon.
But just a mere few hours ago, I was in Southern California where it was a little bit overcast. Not too bad, but it was a great weather week in Southern California. Not too hot, not too cold. It was just right.
Well, and I can't wait to hear about you all's trip to SoCal, which is going to be a good chunk of this episode. But
yes.
Otherwise, how are you? You just got off a flight and then you jumped on to do our podcast.
Yes. Didn't want to forget anything. So came home, told Al, we got to record. Now we're here.
I texted you and said we got to record.
Oh, you texted me yesterday. I meant like today.
Sure.
Are you going to be ready today when I get home? Yes, you did text me in the first place when I was still in California, which we will talk about right now, except for how was your Disney week?
Disney week was cool. I mean, we have a lot to talk about in my Disney week, but oh my gosh, I'm so happy. My Disney week really kicked off about 3 hours ago because all of a sudden something that wasn't Disney that I'm a big fan of became Disney. And I just want to share with everyone, if you have not watched Doctor Who is a show that's been on for 60 years, and Disney Plus just got the rights to it for the United States. And today is the 60th anniversary. So they have 3 60th anniversary specials coming out. Today it came out for streaming at 11:30 Pacific time. The first episode with perhaps my favorite Doctor, David Tennant, came back for 3 episodes. And that's never happened before. Like, not doctors have come back, but like he regenerated into the same face. And we're all like, what's going on? And then one of my favorite characters, Donna Noble, is on there. If you watch Doctor Who, you know how exciting this is. If you don't watch Doctor Who, you're like, what the hell are you talking about?
That's exactly where I am right now.
But
what the hell are you talking about?
On Disney Plus, it's amazing. First episode is awesome. And I cannot wait to see what happens, because when my favorite character, Donna Noble, left, she left in a very bad set of circumstances, which they have addressed in this first episode. And I love her, and I love the Doctor and all of their incarnations.
I know.
Although the last Doctor, I really liked her.
What you speak. Yeah.
She was the first female Doctor. I really liked her. I did not care for her companions.
Okay.
So, you know.
I don't know, actually, because
if you know, you know. If you don't, I mean, watch Doctor Who. Watch it on Disney Plus. I think this episode is probably something you could probably pick up and understand.
Oh, really? I'm never watching the show ever.
Look, everybody, the show started in 1963. David Kennedy was assassinated, so we all got to pick it up somewhere.
Okay.
I picked it up in 2005. I picked it up in like 2012, but it's restarted in 2005.
Got it. Okay.
You got to pick it up somewhere. I would not expect somebody to go back and watch 60 years worth of television.
No. Well,
although I'm trying to do that with Star Trek, and it's a slog. Let me tell you. Whoa. I'm like season 4 of Voyager, and man, it's pretty like, wow, this is definitely 90s television.
Oh, good.
26 episodes, and about 13 of them you could skip. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I know most of your Disney week, but do you have something for your Disney week that's not everything for your Disney week?
That's not everything. Yeah, I have a couple things, actually. Right before we left for our Thanksgiving vacation to Orange County to spend Thanksgiving with my daughter and her boyfriend's family, it was Friday, November 17th was our last day of school before the break, which, if you know, is Life Day in the Star Wars Wookiee tradition.
And that wonderful Star Wars holiday special.
Oh my God.
Have you seen it? You've seen it, right?
Not only have I seen it, I showed clips of it to the kids.
It's amazing how bad it is.
Oh my gosh. It's so bad.
Terrible. It's so 70s. Terrible.
But if you want to see Carrie Fisher sing, if you want to see
Lola Falana,
a whole
B. Arthur is in it.
B. Arthur, and Harvey Korman, and
it's the most 70s
Al
thing that
Carney.
ever 70s.
It was pretty incredible.
And all of the main cast of Star Wars and a lot of eyeliner for some reason.
And the kids didn't believe me that it was Mark Hamill for real because he looked so pretty and different.
Well, and he famously had that car accident between Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, if you
I
recall.
totally forgot.
Yep.
I totally forgot about that. Well, I did have my Life Day sweatshirt on. This is from last year, not this year's print, but it was from last year. And so I wore this, and we had a whole Life Day celebration where I had them research what Life Day meant and find images and quotes. And it was a good time. And we watched clips of the
And religious families didn't
1978.
get mad at you for promoting a religion not their own?
They haven't had time. It was
Yeah,
done.
that's true.
And then I went on vacation. Maybe
Nice.
there are hundreds of emails when I come back to work. I have no idea.
You can get them on Monday.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. I'm not worried about it. It's done. What's done is done.
And when I was down at the park, they're selling a ton of Life Day merch now, which
they
is so cool.
had a lot. Yeah, they had a lot. And including the big, it was a fleece, but the red robe that the Wookiees wear. Yeah. Anyway, and I heard they had a parade too. I wasn't actually there on the 17th at Disneyland. I heard they had a Life Day parade through Galaxy's Edge. Would have liked to see that. Might need to hit that next year. One more thing that is not on our topic list today that I can share is that Monday, I actually went to work with Emma. So we did a take your mother to work day, and I was able to go with her to the Disney offices at Grand Central Air Terminal in LA. And then we popped by the studios, and I saw all the employee shopping opportunities. That was very fun.
I'm so jealous. When is the take your pretend uncle to work day? Is that in February? What
I think it's whenever the pretend uncle goes down to visit. It was actually really nice. It was very, very cool. And while she was working, I kind of hung out in the lobby and did my thing. I read a lot. We saw a lot of movies while we were down there. So we'll talk about Wish in a little bit.
You didn't just walk around and stick your head in to see what people's work was doing like Walt used to? Hey, no. Show me what's going on here.
Nobody was there. It was Thanksgiving week. It was like empty. So no.
I was at work on Thanksgiving week.
Well,
I was the only one there.
We were walking at the studios, and Emma's like, usually you see a lot of famous people right here. And it was like totally dead. Like nobody's there. But that's okay. It was fun. It was great to see what she does and where she does it. Was I just gonna say, we saw the Marvels. Did you see the Marvels?
Which I loved. Yeah, I saw it.
I loved it too.
I loved it. So
very sad that it's not doing well at the box office.
I have a whole thing about people equating movies not doing well financially with the movie being bad. Like, it's a really good movie.
I
think
it's
one of the
better
better movies
movie
of the last phase. Between that and Shang-Chi, that's probably my two favorite of the most recent phase.
Yeah.
And I don't care what anybody says. It was really good. And
it was really
anything
good.
with Miss Marvel and her family is just a win for me.
Yeah.
Especially her mom, who reminds me of my mom so much, it's scary.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, she was great. I thought she did a great job. I would watch, well, hopefully there'll be more miniseries, but I would watch a movie with her. She was my highlight of the film.
Oh, yeah. She was, I mean, I love all of those women in that movie, but she was definitely a highlight. Her and her family. I just love her family so much.
It's so funny.
That it's such a cool, like different way of looking at the Marvel universe, like a regular person way of looking at the Marvel universe. I love the Marvels.
Yeah,
she's really episode about the Marvels. I loved it. I thought it was great. In fact, I'll probably go see it again.
So yeah, it was a good entertaining week. So that was my Disney week. We can go into our subject. Obviously, my Disney week included Disneyland, which you also.
Yes, since our last recording, we've both been to Disneyland separately on separate trips. I went for a work trip and then went to Disneyland at night. And then you went to visit Emma.
I did. And it was so very crowded. It was so very crowded when we went.
It was crowded when I went. And one of the things that I've realized is I got to stop going on work trips. Because when I go on work trips, I don't get there till like afternoon or evening, and I can't do anything. Since the Genie Plus arrival, it used to be I could jump on a single rider. I cannot ride anything. If you get there like after 3:00, you're done. Like there's nothing you can do unless you pay $20 for it.
Yeah. So you have to get there early. We got there at opening and it was still very crowded. And Ed had he's like, I just have to do 3 rides today. That's all I want to do. And literally we did those 3 rides and then we were done. We didn't do any more rides because by that time everything's packed. So I feel lucky. I feel very fortunate that we're able to go as often as we do, and that we don't just have a one and done trip. I feel really, it's just really sad, I guess, that
Well, you
Disneyland
just
is
have to. You
just so
can do it. You
expensive.
just have to pay
You have to
so much
pay.
money
Yeah, that's what I'm
to do a
saying.
trip that we used to be able to do just going down there, like just
Yeah.
pop in. Like especially when I lived in Orange County, I could go at like 8 o'clock after
Mm-hmm.
work and still ride 3 or 4 things.
Oh yeah, we did. So it was good, but we found a lot of quiet places. I never attribute Disneyland to having the quiet places, but we actually did pretty good
Did you
on the
find
quiet
anything new that
places.
we haven't talked about before? I love
Well,
finding quiet
you
places.
went to Tiana's Palace. You went to
Yes.
Tiana's Palace, which
Mhm.
I thought was incredible. Why didn't you tell me what happened when you went? Because you went for dinner.
I went for dinner, and here's the thing: the whole time I was there, I kept trying to make a pre-order for Tiana's Palace, and it would show up, and I would click it, and then by the time I clicked it, like half a second later, it was like no more pre-order here. And so I was like, well, let me just walk over to New Orleans Square and see if there's a standby line. And I did. And the standby line looked really long, but I was through it. Like the standby line was almost to Haunted Mansion.
Oh
I
wow.
said, right. And I said, well, let me just stand in it. And I was inside in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So the standby, in my experience, the standby line looks long, but it goes really fast. And I love the decor, and I kept trying to decide between the po' boy and the gumbo, and I ultimately decided on the gumbo. And here I have a problem with my meal at Tiana's Palace, and there's no way to say it except if you've made gumbo, you know what I'm talking about. Gumbo has a thickener that most people use okra. Now okra is evil and should be destroyed, so I'm
I
glad
love
they don't
okra.
use okra.
Okay.
It's awful. It's just like,
I
hey,
love
what
it.
if we took something fibrous and put snot in it? But that's
But if
what
you fry it, it's
that's what
dang
that
good.
thickener is, right?
Yeah.
It's used to thicken. Well, they don't use okra, so they have a powder thickener, which I've used before. And in my gumbo, they had not mixed it properly, so one of my bites was just dry powder.
That's horrible.
And that was enough to just make me go, ooh, I cannot continue to eat this. Now, the 2 or 3 bites I had before that were very good.
That's sad.
But that was like a quality control thing that I'm like, ooh, Disney, come on. And it was literally new. They haven't been open very long, so I'm willing to forgive it. I'm willing to try it again. But that was a very unpleasant eating moment. It's just if you've just, especially for like gumbo is kind of a soupy, stewy kind of thing, and just imagine a big bite of something soupy, stewy, and just about a tableful of dry powder.
No, sounds horrible.
Was not good. And I saw the po' boy, and I was like, that po' boy looks so good, but I don't think I'll be able to finish it because I can't eat very much. And that's why I didn't get the po' boy. Now I wish I would have gotten the po' boy.
I will tell you that we got that, and it was amazing.
It looked good. It looked really good.
I didn't think so. Like I said, we did our 3 rides in the morning, and so by 9:30, 10, we were done with the 3 rides. Oh, I also did I forgot, this is new, and I don't know if you did it, but the Adventureland Treehouse that they're calling it now. So it's
it wasn't quite open when I was there.
Okay,
and so it was I think it opened like a day or two after I left.
Right. And the girls had only been on it while it was Tarzan. They don't remember it when it was Swiss Family Robinson.
Oh my God,
I don't even know
so
if they were
old.
born.
Yeah,
but I liked how they redid it. It's based on Swiss Family Robinson. It's definitely updated. I think it's beautiful. And actually, I took a video, so I'll have that on our reels sometime this week. So it's really cool. It's really cool. Ed couldn't do it because there's
it's still just stairs, right?
It's all stairs, and the dude's getting a brand new knee in a couple of weeks. So
I was going to say, did you let him not do it, or did you drag him up?
Oh no, he actually. So here's what happened. So we did. Let's see. We did Andee, got right on. We did Pirates, got right on. We did Haunted Mansion with the Jack overlay.
How long was that one?
It was long because it said like 40 minutes. We were going to stand on it anyway.
That's not that bad.
It's not. It actually broke down a little bit, which is why the wait was long. But as soon as it was up, we were like in the first group. So it was it was stalled.
Gotcha.
my thought, I'm like, oh, you know what happened? They overcrowded it again, because that one time
Oh
when
my
we went
god,
and they overcrowded
that was
it, I'm
so
like,
bad. That's one of my
I'm
worst
like,
Disneyland experiences.
I'm like, I bet you that it's not broken. I bet you that it's overcrowded, and they have to like let it space out,
Mhm.
because by the time we got down there, who knows, right? But by the
Yeah.
time we got down there, it was right on. So it was amazing. So happy to see the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay again, because I hadn't seen
So
that in
cool. I haven't seen
years.
that in years, just because it's
Yeah,
so like tough to see.
but
Or it's tough to get through that line. I just don't like lines, which is I don't know
well,
why
I
I'm a
know.
Disneyland fan.
But I really did like it. It really made me happy again to see that. So anyway, right after that, it was about 10. What time did it open? I want to say it opened at 10:30. Whatever time Tiana's Palace opened, we still weren't quite at that time yet. So we kind of just hung around. People watched a little bit, and then as soon as we could order a mobile order, we did. I just wanted, it was not time for gumbo at 10 a.m. And so I saw their cold brew,
Especially, was
which
it
was
warm
their,
out?
it was a little bit warm. It was getting
Yeah,
there.
gumbo is not a good warm weather
Mm.
food.
No. So I thought, okay, let's just try a beignet, because their beignets are different than the beignet
Yeah, they
window.
got the stuff inside. Yeah,
That it's lemon, it doesn't have powdered sugar on the outside, it's not Mickey shaped. So I said, let's just try a beignet, and they had a cold brew of their hickory coffee.
which
Is
I
it
wanted to
chicory
try,
or
but it was at
hickory?
dinner time, and so I didn't get it. I didn't want to try it and be up all night.
Well, I thought it was amazing. That was my favorite part of Tiana's, was that cold brew.
Well, if
Um,
it's anything like the chicory you get in New Orleans,
right.
it's amazing.
Right. And they had all the Cafe du Monde stuff for sale there. So it was really cool. I liked it. So we got the beignet, and I'm like, you know what? I want to try a menu item. Let's get the beef po' boy, and we'll split it 3 ways, because we were there. So we got a beignet. Ed and I got a cold brew, and we got the beef sandwich, and that was amazing. We would all eat that for lunch. We would
It
all go
looked
back there
really good, and it was a
for that
really good
sandwich.
serving. Like,
It was a really good serving. It came with red beans and rice
which
and
is one of my
pickles.
favorite meals. It's actually one of the meals I love to make and I love to eat.
Yeah, I was impressed with the beef. I think that they did a really good job with that. I was not in the mood for dry meat, and it was really tasty. So I would go back for that meal. The beignet I thought was amazing. So while we did the Adventureland Treehouse, Ed stayed behind, had another cold brew and a beignet. so, so he
That
liked
is
it
my
enough.
kind of Disney traveler.
But one thing I loved, and I don't know if you saw her, but Tiana was walking around.
She wasn't there when I was there. I really wish
Okay.
she would have been.
It was excellent, and I thought a great addition, because not everybody can afford a character meal.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, for quick service, to have her out as a character, well, thank you for coming to my restaurant. I worked so hard. I'm so happy you're here to enjoy it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And
The one thing I wish, they used to have jambalaya there and they don't anymore.
Oh.
And I used to love their jambalaya.
Oh, you mean at French Quarter, or you mean at
French Quarter? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if they still have it at Cafe Orleans.
I want to check it out. I don't think so, because I remember that night being like, let me go look at that menu and see if they still have it. I don't think they do.
Okay. Well, I was pretty impressed with it for quick service. I didn't get the gumbo. You did not have a good gumbo experience.
Look, here's the thing. If the gumbo had been properly mixed, it was wonderful, right? Like, the 2 or 3 bites I had before the powder were great. But if you don't mix it, and I've had that, and here's the thing, I've had that happen with stuff I've made at home too, right? When you use a thickener, it's really hard to like really mix it to the point where you make sure it's all dissolved into the dish. I get it, but I'm also not a professional restaurant, so
that's correct. But I would give it, on my experience, I would give it a total thumbs up. So
I would too. I like, other than that experience, I thought it was wonderful. And I really wish I would have got the po' boy. I didn't try the beignets because I'm not a fan of like filled.
Neither is Emma. So she missed the original beignet.
That textural difference bothers me. But I'd go around the corner and get a regular beignet and be just happy.
Yeah. I was pretty happy with it. And so that was our
Now, you ordered from the mobile, and so you got it from the window. Did you get a chance to go inside and look around?
We did, because they didn't have cold brew on the
nice.
mobile, And so I asked about that, and they're like, "Oh, go inside and order it." But had I had that to do all over again, I would totally do the standby line. I think the standby, it was empty
It
inside.
went
It was empty.
super quick when I was
Mhm.
there. Like, and it was a long, like it was almost a haunted mansion. And I was there, I counted out like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was really cute. I'll do another. I took some footage of Tiana's palace too, so I'll do a reel showing you the inside of that too. Turned out really great.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I love it.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I think it's a
I
good
will definitely eat
addition.
there again. I don't know if I'll have the gumbo again, but I will definitely
Get the
eat there.
beef. Get the
It
beef
looked
po' boy.
so
It was
good.
really good.
It looked really good.
So I'm
Now
trying to think.
you were there after I was there. I was
Uh-huh.
there briefly and couldn't go over to California Adventure, so I didn't get a chance to see San Francisco.
Uh-huh.
I didn't get a chance, and you guys are DVC members, so I didn't get a chance to see the villas. So
Mm-hmm.
what was the stuff like that was new since your last trip that you got a chance to do?
Which was July. So
Right.
this is all new since July. We ended up, so after our little stint in New Orleans Square, we actually walked through Galaxy's Edge to get to Tomorrowland and took the monorail over to the Disneyland Hotel. So that was open, which was great. The area where AMC theaters used to be, they turned into this really cute park area.
Oh, really?
That
Oh,
if you
yeah,
had
yeah.
little
You're right. You're right.
kids,
You're right.
if you had little kids or whatever, you just need somebody to run around. It's like great run around, but they have a stage there. It looks like they're going to do some shows. I think it's a great, they have like lawn furniture out there. So
Yeah.
that looked like a
That
good
was
addition.
because I parked at the downtown Disney parking lot, which is behind
Mm-hmm.
Paradise Pier, and you come around through there, and you pop out right where that stage is. And when I was there, they did have a lot of performances and stuff that night, right by the Lego store.
Yep. So that was fun. And then, yeah, we went into the new DVC towers, which, I wasn't excited about when we first started talking about them. There are all these kind of weird, buying those points is different than buying any other points. They have some weird taxes associated with it.
Thanks, California.
Yeah, I know. Man, California, you ruin everything for everybody else.
I know. It's true. Let's move to Texas.
Oh God, no. Anyway, so I thought it was really well done. I loved the decor. I wasn't sure what the decor was when I first saw pictures of it. In fact, if you look at it, there's like it's colors. It's very colorful. There are lines of different color palettes everywhere on the building. Well, once you are there at the building, you see that it is, I don't know if you guys have seen this, like it's on Etsy and stuff like this. People will take a film and they'll take all the colors of the film. So whatever the color, you know what I mean? Like it could be a print or something. So those lines of colors were actually the film print, the colors in the film. That there, so Jungle Book was there.
Right.
The murals, they had murals there, gorgeous murals inside. So it's very colorful. I noticed that Ed's big on the balconies. I noticed that only some rooms had balconies, not all. So you would have to look if that's important to you, like it is to Ed. We ate at the pool bar called Palm Breeze, I believe it was called.
Okay. And as DVC members, you get to go in and use all that stuff?
Yes, but it was so easy to do. I'm sure that all you would have to say is, "Hey, I'd really like to try this bar." And they would say, "Here, go on in. We'll take your money."
Matter of fact, we'll sit and talk to you for an hour.
Yeah. So to get into that bar area, you need a pool key. They just let us in though. So, and it shares, it's kind of in between the Disneyland Hotel, if you're familiar with it, they have their big pool. And then the side where the Disneyland sign, the old Disneyland sign is, that is kind of like where the bar starts. And then DVC has their own little pool. It's not huge by any means. And so I think you can go back and forth between the actual hotel pool and the DVC pool.
I love the Disneyland hotel pool. It's so cool.
The splash pad is super cute. It's based on Steamboat Willie. And yeah, it's just cute. I still am a big fan of the Florida DVC properties. They're huge.
I mean,
they're
it's
huge.
the blessings of size, right?
Like, I know. And it is amazing. It's amazing what Disneyland is doing with the little size that they have, the little bit of property that they have. So it is incredible that they can do all that they are doing with that little amount of space.
Well, and you guys are going within a month, going to Disney
in
World.
fact, in a month we'll be flying back.
So
yeah.
you'll have the ability to like really directly like stay in here and then stay in there, right? Like to really directly. But there's no way that you're going to compare just because look at the space you've got. And
I know.
particularly you all, are you gonna, are Emma and folks going and, okay, so you'll get one of those, 2-bedroom kind of places
We
like
have
you
a
usually
2-bedroom
do?
again. We're staying at Old Key West Villas, which is the very first DVC villa to open back in the 90s.
So yeah, I mean, I've seen the villas you all get, and you all have tons of space versus like the little hotel rooms I get at the value resorts.
Yeah.
So
But there's
just
one
no
of
way to
you.
compare. What's that?
No, I said there's one of you. There's a million of us.
Yes, but I have a big personality.
Oh,
There's one
yeah.
of me at the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
Wink for our podcast listeners.
Oh my goodness. But I would say, I mean, it's cute. Going, yeah, I think I'd like to stay there one time to try it out. I think I would do that.
I mean, here's the thing I will say that I don't know that we talk about as much when I think about it is the blessings of size at Disney World are awesome because you can do all kinds of stuff. But I will also say it takes forever to get around Disney World.
I know.
I remember when I was staying at one of the Disney value resorts, I had my Apple Watch on, just going from the lobby to my room was 0.8 miles.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And I remember one night, because we had been at the park all day and I was super tired, and I went to my room and I was moving hotels and I needed some cash to leave a tip for the housekeeping. And so then I had to walk all the way back to the lobby to go to the ATM and then walk all the way back to my room. And it was like a 2-mile walk. And that was just within the resort. So I do think that the proximity that you have at Disneyland, even if I think maybe the farthest hotel would be Paradise Pier, even that is really close to park entry.
Well, not only that, but now they have a back entrance into California Adventure from Paradise Pier.
Oh,
they have a brand new restaurant. They have a restaurant open. It is not a Disney restaurant. It's a chain restaurant. But that is open. So Paradise Pier now has no.
Oh, I like.
In fact, I'm embarrassed that I can't even. Let me look at the name. It's like Maple something.
Because I mean, when you're at Olive Garden, you're family.
Oh, brother.
Although it could be Red Lobster, and those Cheddar Bay biscuits are pretty good. At least Beyonce says so. I mean, I like them too. Look, I'm hip with the kids. Okay, I'm a middle-aged man, but I know my Beyonce references.
I don't.
I really don't. That's just the one I know.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm looking. Where is the restaurant? Rooms Dining. Just opened. It is not showing it to me, which is awesome. But we'll thank you for
edit it in later, and we'll pretend like you already said, like cover your mouth real quick and go.
Yeah.
Texas Roadhouse. And then lay it in.
Great Maple. It's called Great Maple Modern American. What? Modern American
Cookhouse?
Come on, Internet. System? You can do it. Eatery.
That's not even a word.
I didn't want to try it. Not this time. I wanted to stick with Disney food this time. So we actually ended up going, Fernando, Emma's boyfriend, as a Magic Key holder. So we ended up going to the Magic Key Terrace again. They changed their menu for anybody who's been to the Magic Key Terrace. It is.
I still haven't for some reason. And I'm interesting. A Magic Key holder.
I know. I'm surprised you haven't. It's interesting. It used to be like classic bar food, and now they tried to upscale it a little bit. I'm not sure if that's working out for them.
Maybe it was because it was just bar food. And when I'm hungry, I'm hungry.
Yeah, but you can't eat a lot.
I know, but I still want food.
Well, it's good food. I mean, their sliders were really good.
And I need, somebody to eat the other half of my plate.
But you can't beat the view. I love the view. The view being that of San Francisco.
How was that?
No, that was good too. Okay. It was cute. The bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge, or whatever I don't know if that's what it's called, but it looks good. They did a good job with their theming, as always.
Yeah, they're known for their theming.
Yes, I've heard that.
One might even call the whole park themed. Or to coin a phrase, one might call it a theme
park. Yes, it is true. Yeah, so that was new I'm trying. I'm trying to think what else was new. I know we spent the day there, and we
Mhm.
spent our day trying to get away from the people. We did a pretty dang good
You can do
job.
a California adventure. Sorry.
It was packed. It was packed, but we did
Yeah.
it by going to
Well, did you do
the Magic
did they
Key
have the
Terrace. They
festival
had the
stuff?
Festival of Foods, so the
I
holiday
love those.
festival.
I didn't. It was. I must have just went just at the wrong time because it was right before all that stuff started.
Yeah, it just opened. Yeah, it's cute, but if you're used to going to the Epcot festival, do not expect the
Oh
same
yeah,
thing,
because
please.
the
It
Epcot
is not the same
festival.
thing.
I was watching Behind the Attraction
Oh
because they
yeah,
have
uh-huh.
another 6 episodes came out recently, and they
Okay.
did a whole episode on Epcot. And my brother, who's never been to Disney World, was like, "Oh, Epcot looks cool," and I was like, "Epcot is awesome, except it is the biggest place you've ever been." And it is exhausting. Just if you want to, like, if I go to Disneyland and want to do a loop around the park, it's like,
Mhm.
what, 20 minutes? At Epcot,
Yeah.
it's like 2 hours. It's insane.
It's pretty dang big. It's definitely a 2-day park if you do everything. I
Mhm.
am excited to go see all of the things that have opened since last year, or last year, since March. I've been a couple of times this year and that's okay. That's good. I don't
So
know.
I think Disney has this new plan where they just take money out of your account monthly, and then you can just go. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I had to have 2 girls employed by them just to keep going.
Oh, that's right. So you get to get in a little cheaper or free,
Well,
depending.
a lot cheaper.
Well, make sure they start working for the cruise line, so then I can go.
There you go. There you go.
Well, I mean, that
Yeah.
was a ton of Disneyland stuff because we both were at Disneyland since our last recording, but we also both
Mhm.
saw the movie called Wish, which was a celebration of 100 years of Disney. And I'm curious what you thought.
I enjoyed it immensely. I loved it. But there's reasons why I loved it, and I know you did not love it as much as I did.
I did not. I mostly I didn't dislike it. I thought it was fine. But the music was very pop music, which, yeah, it's all right. But as a musical theater person, like my expectations of music in relation to story are fairly high. And when music really fits in a musical, it's driving the story. And with Wish, I felt like every 2 minutes we were stopping the story to have somebody sing a song that had nothing to do with the rest of the, like, it was just like, and here's another pop song. Other than that, the animation was gorgeous. I liked the characters. The villain was pretty villainous in a new way that I really like. But the music just wasn't my thing. Just very pop oriented, not musical
You
theater oriented.
know, see, I know that you're saying as pop oriented, which I think that somewhere definitely. Like this is Thanks I Get, the villain song.
Mm-hmm.
Also, let me just stop right here. If you're listening and haven't seen Wish, don't want to know about stuff, now would be a good time to stop listening. So I'm
Yeah,
just going to tell you
yeah,
because
because
there
we're gonna.
might
Yeah.
be spoilers without meaning to spoil. So I'm just going to say right now, if you have not seen Wish, we are on minute 33. Bye.
If you haven't seen Wish, I just wish you wouldn't complain about it if it gets spoiled because we're telling you.
Okay. We have warned you that you're going to stop at minute 33. Okay. So that being said, okay. I think, all the things that you don't like or that I don't like about Mary Poppins Returns,
Mm-hmm.
I think this is what I'm seeing in Wish. Like, you
Oh,
liked
interesting.
all the songs of Mary Poppins Returns because it was a nod to the original. I am
Mm-hmm.
finding nods to
Mm-hmm.
different songs in these songs that you don't like.
Really?
I
Because
really think so.
there's a ton of like Easter eggs for Disney history in this movie.
Yes. I
Easter egg
missed
after
so
Easter egg.
many.
I
Mhm.
missed so many, and usually I'm down for that, but at a
Yeah.
certain point, it got annoying.
See, I thought it was a love letter. I just thought it was a love letter
And
to
here's the thing:
Disney
I
fans.
rewatched Aladdin just the other day, and I was like,
Yeah.
Aladdin also had a lot of nods, but
Yeah.
it didn't stop the story to have it. And this one, I felt like they were like, Peter Pan,
Yeah.
you see? And then
Mhm.
a half hour later, it's like Peter Pan again. In case you missed it, here he is.
Yeah.
And we just want to make sure you understand that we're referencing this
But I thought
because
that's
you're
what it
too
was
stupid to get it.
supposed to be. I think that's what it was supposed to be. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I
But I thought that I'm trying to find this song that she sing. Oh, Welcome to Roses, when
Mhm.
she's singing the welcome, which I thought was a direct nod to the Madrigal Family when
I thought so too,
Mirabelle.
except the productions are so close together. I thought it was perhaps a
Um,
direct nod, but that was like when you compare the two songs, I was like, "Ooh, honey, don't try to no, no, you're not. You're not. No, you're not as good. You'll never be Lin-Manuel Miranda. So
no,
just do your own
that's
thing."
true. That's no, I don't think that. I don't think honestly any of these songs were a do your own thing. I really don't.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if they were supposed to be.
Maybe
Um,
not.
I thought that knowing what I know now, what reminded
Hmm.
me of that song in The Greatest Showman.
I've never seen it.
What?
I've never seen The Greatest Showman. Largely
Okay.
because P.T. Barnum was a horrible person,
Of course he was. Of course he
and
was.
the
But I'm
movie
surprised
seems
you
to be
haven't
like,
seen
"Hey,
it.
he's a great guy." And I'm like,
No, don't watch it for that. Watch it for the songs, and watch it for. You don't even have to watch it for Hugh or Zach or Zendaya. Watch it for the other artists.
I'm really known for watching movies for because what's his face is in them.
Yeah, I know.
The High
I
School
know.
Musical kid.
But you like Wolverine, and he's the star of it.
Who ever said I like Wolverine? Okay,
You
to be
did when you
fair,
went to go see The Music Man.
I like Hugh Jackman.
That's what I said.
Wolverine is a whole different person.
Oh
I am
no.
famous for my hatred of the X-Men.
But you liked him in Music Man, so I
Oh
think you
yeah,
would like him in
he's
The Greatest
wonderful.
Showman.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
Anyway, okay, so it
Anyway,
reminded me of
far-filled,
that.
but P.T. Barnum is a terrible person. Go on.
He was. I agree with you. I don't know, just a lot of different things with the music. I don't think it's by any means Frozen. I don't think it's Encanto. I don't think it's like that at all. But I do think it is really cute beboppy for kids of today. I do. I think it's like,
But isn't that literally the thing that we say annoys us about non-Disney animated movies, where Disney movies have always been not just for kids, but for the whole family, and other animated movies are just for kids?
I see what you're getting at there. I still think no, I mean, like Emma and I listened to the soundtrack, right? Like, we liked it. I'm just saying it's not Frozen.
No. And don't get me wrong. People are going to think like, "Oh God, Al hated this movie." I didn't. I would see it again. The animation was gorgeous. I
Didn't
really
the
liked
forest
the
scenes remind you of
protagonist.
Sleeping Beauty? The forest
Yeah,
scenes
and
were totally like Sleeping
again,
Beauty.
a little bit on the nose. Like it was like,
Well,
yes,
they
we
were all
get
on the nose.
That's my point. I think they could have been a little more subtle about the references. Hey, there's a deer. Oh, cool, because he's kind of designed like Bambi. His name's Bambi.
His name's Bambi.
I'm like, okay.
And the bear's name is John.
I got it on the first time. And then they would be like, literally like, you see this?
It was.
And then the little pen draws a little Mickey shape. I'm like, oh, there's a little Mickey shape. And then the fireworks have a Mickey shape. I'm like, okay, I'm not an idiot. Like, 1 is cool. 5 is like, okay, do you think I'm dumb?
5.
I get it.
Try like 105.
Like, I'm just saying, like, they had the little Peter Pan thing. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then they show up again at the end. I'm like, okay. Like, how often? And something that really bothered me is you saw the granddad's wish.
Yeah.
And she did all this work to protect the granddad's wish and the mom's wish.
Yeah.
You never saw what the mom's wish was.
No, you didn't. I think that was on purpose.
I don't. Because from a story perspective, it's like Chekhov's gun. Why would you introduce it and not pay it off? I think it probably was a cut scene.
No, you think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What?
Because from a story perspective, why would you introduce, hey, what is the story? What good does it do the story to introduce this idea and not pay it off?
I don't know.
So to say it was intentional, right? It's only going to be intentional if there's like, if I can see a world in which, like, if you end it saying, the mom's wish is something she wants to keep private, like that's a part of the story, sure. But just to, like, we're just not going to show you. Like, from a drama perspective, it doesn't make any sense.
Okay. All right. You
got the bad filmmaking. But I like it.
I'm
People
so
can go
sad because I liked her. I don't know. Now you're depressing me because I really liked it. But you're right. I mean, it was totally on the nose. I'm not saying it wasn't on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Down to her 7 best friends being the 7 dwarfs.
And here's the thing. I got it as soon as they showed up. As soon as they show up, I'm like, oh, it's like the 7 dwarfs.
Yeah.
And then they have the scene where they literally go, yeah, he's this dwarf and he's this dwarf.
Yep.
And look, the ears are wiggling. I'm like, okay.
It was all on the nose. But don't you think that was for people who don't know all of Disney like we do? Or
But
no?
sure. But my point is, it takes you out of the story. Story has to
It
always
does.
come first. And in this movie, I think references to other Disney
Okay,
movies
I'll
came
give you that.
first, and the story took a back end because the story. And here's the thing: the story was fine. It just, I think they could have done better with the story if they weren't so preoccupied with here's another reference, because we're gonna get the references, right? And half of the fun is going on YouTube afterwards and going, oh, I missed this and I missed this, right? I don't feel like I missed much. Yeah, I saw the Sleeping Beauty, and they just, and him being the magic mirror at the end, and all
Yeah.
that kind of, like, it was like, yeah, I know.
The star was cute though.
Who? Oh yeah, Star was cute.
Star. And he had like a little Mickey face.
I know.
Like the little heart.
But again, here's my question. When we saw The Little Mermaid, you famously were like, it's not my thing, right?
I know.
But you grew to love it.
Mm-hmm.
With Wish, what song are you going to be singing to yourself 5 years from now?
Well, I've been singing the thanks I get from the villain.
Sure, but 5 years from now?
No.
Encanto, there's like 5 different songs.
Oh, I know.
Right?
I know. You can't go wrong with that. I know. I know.
Even Moana has songs that I'm like, oh, You're Welcome is kind of a banger, you know?
It is. It is.
But again, people could go see it. And here's the thing. Also, from the perspective of my undergrad degree is in film, I'm big on like deep reading films. On the nose always bothers me. I don't think it's going to bother other people in the same way it bothers me, right? Like all the on the noseness just for me was very distracting.
Mm-hmm.
I think most people aren't gonna. I mean, I'm a big Disney fan. I have a Disney podcast, right? So the references at a certain point were a little much for me.
Okay,
Yeah,
if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll notice my attention has been focused on my other screen as Al has been talking. I am trying to see if anybody even has a theory about Asha's mom, Sakina. You're right. I don't know. We don't know a lot about her father other than he was sick, right? So I don't know. I don't know what her wish was either.
Here's the thing. The movie doesn't not intentionally, doesn't disclose it, but I think not disclosing it is a mistake. And I believe in an earlier, because it took on so much importance, I bet in an earlier version of the script, they had a scene where, well, this is my wish, and they cut it.
You don't think that it's a setup for Wish number 2, like a sequel?
Oh God, that would be even worse. Like, oh my God, look, I get that we do movies to set up for the sequel. I get that, but Disney movies have never been that. And I would be really upset if it's a plan for a sequel. That would make me so angry.
Well, I know.
Then I would
agree
definitely
with you.
not like this movie. Because the movie's got to stand on its own. And I stayed through, but here, okay, I feel bad. So here's the things that I loved about Wish. I love the post-credit scene.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
With the granddad. I love the fact.
Can we just say that Victor Gerber was the voice of him?
Yeah.
And I love him so much.
I love the fact that one of the main characters was a man who just turned 100.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was really cool, particularly around inclusivity, right? I love that her best friend walked with a cane, and there wasn't like a lot made of it. It was just like, this is a person who walks with a cane, but still does stuff and has agency and all this kind of stuff. I loved her group of friends. The dwarves, perhaps, but I thought that once you sort of got past that part, even the person who betrays her, I thought they redeemed that within the course of the story, right? Where they were like, well, there's a reason, right? And that I thought the part I liked was I thought the movie went a little hard in a good way, on what people lost by giving up their wishes. Like that was compelling to me. I could have used more of that story where it's like, hey, this is what you give up when you give up your wish. A part of you dies and you are not a full person without your dreams, right? That was cool. Great idea for a movie. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm in on this story. Hey, look, here's a reference to Aladdin. Okay. So there's a lot about this movie I like. I will say the animation and the my research has been that the what they were really trying to do with the animation is, as we've moved forward into this full sort of 3D rendering process, they wanted to at least pay homage to the traditional 2D animation style. So I think that they did a wonderful job of melding sort of the best of the new with sort of the coloring of traditional animation, which has gone away.
Which is what I love. Which is
I
what I love.
Gorgeous movie. Gorgeous film. I there's a lot about this movie to like.
Maybe it was on the nose that I was liking, though.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what I was just finding so cute as I was watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you're talking about Mary Poppins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're talking about flying. Oh, you're talking about... I know!
Even the Mary Poppins thing is like, oh, you want a good nanny? I'm popping. I'm like, okay, you didn't have to... We didn't need the pun, right?
It was all on the nose. The whole
knew
thing was
you
on
were
the
talking
nose.
about Mary Poppins. We knew it.
I know.
Nobody was... I wanted to just pause
thing.
the movie, stand up in the theater and go, was anybody in this room confused that he was talking about Mary Poppins? Anyone? No. Did we need him to actually say the word poppin'? Which, from a dialogue perspective, makes no sense to say. Other than, we need to really drive.
What did you think about Chris Pine as the voice?
I think the voice actors did wonderful.
Yeah, so did I.
And I'm in love with Ariana DeBose, so she can do no wrong. Like, I'm deeply, hopelessly in love with her.
She's in so many movies lately.
Because she deserves it. She's awesome.
I think it's really interesting because in Hamilton, she was a dancer and she was the lead dancer, the Bullet.
Mm-hmm.
But she never had a lead part in Hamilton. Now she's making it big in the films.
From a theater perspective, she didn't have lines, but from a theater perspective, the Bullet is a huge part.
The Bullet is a huge part, but it is not Angelica.
No. It's
Eliza
not,
or...
but I think for me, it's more of a
Peggy.
directorial choreographic choice of what could be. You could do a production of Hamilton without that, and if you just went by script, but the director came up with that, or the choreographer, whoever came up with that idea. It's a brilliant idea and really elevated that role.
It was.
But then Maria and West Side Story, come on.
I know.
No, it wasn't Maria.
Not Maria, Anita.
Anita.
Which, by the way,
wrong. Yeah.
I did see Maria in the Hunger Games.
I want to go see that.
Not Disney related, so I won't get too into it. But I read the book and then I saw the movie.
Been hungry at the Disney park, so I don't know.
Oh, well, I will say if you need a quiet break during the day and you want to go check out the restaurants over at the hotel that's not character based, I say going to the actual bar, the pool bar at where were we again?
Disneyland Hotel.
Long day.
QVC,
Long day. I also enjoy, if you like that kind of thing, the Craftsman Grill. That's the pool at California or Grand Californian. I'm telling you guys, it's been a long day. I was really excited to record with Val. But that is good too. So if you are looking for a quiet lunch or afternoon snack, that is where you want to go. So did I hit it? Did we hit all about Wish? I think we had our...
I think so.
So now
I'd be curious what other people thought of Wish. Here's what I expect. I expect particularly our listeners to be like, Al, you're crazy.
No, so I bet a lot of them will agree with you.
100% okay being by myself out on this island.
No, I think a lot will agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a personality thing.
Mm-hmm.
I like the on the nose. But now that you say it, but see, you ruined Rent for me too.
I did, because Rent is awful.
And it's not. It's beautiful, except for when it's awful.
Don't even get me started on Rent.
All right, guys, who's right? Who's wrong? Tell us what you thought of Wish. Tell us what you think about the new upgrades in Disney from the last couple months, if you've been. Tell us what you think about Tiana's Palace, if you've eaten there. I did that. I want that sandwich now again. So
I want that sandwich so I can have a good meal at Tiana's Palace.
if you are watching us on YouTube, please subscribe and let us know what you think about all of the things. And if you're listening on the podcast, go ahead and find us on social media at Dueling Disney. And if you are not yet a part of our community, please find us at Dueling Disney Community Duelists and join in the conversation there.
Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened. Wait for the podcast to come to a complete stop before disembarking. Permanece sentados, por favor.